Don't you just love pitches? Like at the Emmys where they bring somebody up for a lifetime achievement and someone gets to pitch them to the audience. Or think about that time where your best friend went and pitched you to that person that would become your spouse. Wasn't that pitch the best? Or how about any parent knows that time where you're there in the hospital and the nurse takes the baby and says, Mr. Schwab, I'd like to pitch you your daughter. No, I mean, what kind of psychopath would pitch a newborn baby? Well, I'd also say, what kind of psychopath would pitch a human being, right? You pitch a baseball, you pitch an inanimate object, you introduce a human being. Now, I know people will say, well, it's just semantics. It's just a word. And I know where it comes from too. In PR and media, you would pitch ideas for a story. You would pitch an idea, but somehow we've morphed from pitching ideas to pitching people. And I think it's harmful. I think it's dehumanizing. I think it's transactional, and it really goes against what we're trying to do. Make the world a better place, connect, have relationships, have conversations. And for those people that say, well, it's just a word, it's just a word that we use. I'm just going out there and pitching. Well, they're also the ones that are probably sending out mass emails. And as a host, I would ask you, do you like a pitch where it comes in and it's, dear podcast host, I really love your show and want to be a guest. I get those pitches and I don't even have a podcast. They love my show. They want to be a guest, but it's clear it's a transaction. They haven't even seen or listened to my podcast. If you're a guest, is that what you want to do? Do you want to go out there and just reach out to hundreds or thousands of potential podcast hosts and just say, hey, can I be on your show? I guarantee you, from the law of averages, if you pitch yourself, you are going to get people that say yes, but it's probably not the people that you want to say yes. Think about it. Go back to that example I had before. What if you pitched yourself to 1,000 eligible people to get married? Just go up to 1,000 random people and say, hey, would you like to get married? You'll probably get some yeses out of that, but it's not the yeses that you want. Those people that say it's just a word, I'd argue with you that words have meaning. And I think of something that one of our clients, Bix Bixens, I loved how he would present things. He would say, I'd like to introduce you to an idea. He would never tell anybody, this is what you should do, or this is what you should think. But I'd like to introduce you to an idea. I'd like to introduce you to a different way of looking at it. Think about it yourself. If your boss came to you and said, I'd like to pitch you on a new comp plan, would your guard go up? Would you be thinking, uh-oh, they're trying to do something to me, not for me? No, better if they said, I'd like to introduce you of maybe a different way of looking at compensation, or a different way we could reward you. It has a big difference, and a big difference in where the heart is. I love the podcast where Eric Weinheimer and Christopher Lochhead were talking. It was on what was it? It was before Follow You're Different. It was Legends and Losers, but it got rebranded to Follow You're Different. And Eric Weinheimer, the first blind man to ever summit Mount Everest or go down the Grand Canyon solo, said it so perfectly. He said, the world doesn't need more BS. And I'd say, as podcast hosts, as podcast guests, we don't need more BS. We don't need more pitches. Now, I challenge you, if you're a host and you agree with this, share it. If you want a lapel pin here, DM me, I'll send you one. If you're a guest and you agree with this, go ahead and share it. Let's get this message out. We deserve better in this industry, both as guests and hosts. We have to hold ourselves to a better level. And if you disagree with me, That's great too. Let's have a conversation about this. Today I honestly believe we're not one pitch away. We're not one funnel away. We're one conversation away. And let's make those conversations. Let's make those introductions. It will make the world a better place, and it'll make podcasting a better place.